Good evening, family. I just wanted to hop on here and give you guys an encouraging word. A word that hit home for me. So lately, God's been dealing with me a lot with words and reminding me about the power of our words. As we all know in the Bible, it tells us that life and death lies in the power of our tongue. So when we speak a thing, we have to be very mindful because when we speak certain things, we can cause them to manifest. So we have to be mindful about what we speak. So um, many of you definitely don't know. Some people will know. But back in December of 2022, I completed my master's degree in psychology. Haven't told many people about it or anything like that. Didn't do no post about it or anything. I completed it and I knew what I wanted to do with it. But as of right now, here we are, January 2024, and I have not been able to use my degree. It has bothered me that I haven't had been able to use it, but I have not been able to figure out for sure what I need to do with it. And I've been asking God for guidance, and it doesn't feel like He's answering. I don't know that He is or isn't, but as of right now, I don't feel like I have an answer. So, on last night, I want to say it was, I was praying again. Or last night or the day before, I was praying again about it, trying to figure out what it is I need to do with this degree. Feeling like, okay, I spent all that time, money, energy, everything, into getting this degree that I haven't been able to use. And I can remember in my prayer, I was saying to myself, God, I'm just confused. I don't understand. Like, why did I go to school to get this degree? And, stepped out there and did it because of what, you know, I was spoken to by someone who said that, you will be returning back to school. I stepped out there in faith. I went out there and did it. And I still to this day believe that it was for a reason. I just don't understand, why I got it and haven't been able to get a job with it. I'm confused. That's what I kept saying, right? And God dealt with me on that word, confusion. And again, once again, He dealt with me on life and death, men in the power of the tongue. Many maybe don't believe that, but I do believe it. It's just like when you speak to yourself and you feel having type of element in your body and you speak to yourself, in such a way that those elements begin to disappear, that days pass by and the next thing you know, that element that you was feeling was no longer there because you kept saying, I am healed. My knee does not hurt. The devil is alive. Knees not hurting, my foot not hurting, my head not hurting, my neck, my back not hurting, whatever it is. But over time, a lot of times, you will notice that feeling of discomfort will go away. I've experienced it myself. So that God dealt with me on confusion and understanding. So one of the definitions, a few definitions of confused, is a person being unable to think clearly, bewildered, um, showing bewilderment, not in possession of all one's mental faculties, lacking order and thus difficult to understand, lacking clear distinction of element. Right? All right. And then for understanding, it means to perceive the intended meaning of a word, a language, a speaker, perceive a significant explanation or cause of something. Like, I don't understand, like, why, you know, I, I'm not able to pursue anything considering dealing with this degree that I have. Um, and, like I said, I was kept talking about how I was confused. But while they may seem like they're the same thing, in actuality, they're not. Whenever a person is, when you don't understand something, you just don't understand it, right? Like I say, you don't perceive the intended meaning of this. Why are you going through this? You don't understand why you're going through that particular thing, right? you understand the cause of why you're going through it. But when you're confused, it actually deals with your mental faculties. Like you're confused to a point where you just can't comprehend, the whys. And the word confusion holds a lot of weight to it, I should say, versus understanding. So the word confusion holds a lot of weight because it deals with your mental state, right? So once again, life and death lies in the power of the tongue. So a lot of times, we have to be careful about what we do and we say. And then God reminded me that God says, He stated in, let's see here, He stated in First Corinthians, let me get it, in First Corinthians um, 14 and 33, that God says He is not the author of confusion. The devil is, right? While we know that sometimes God in the Bible, like in Deuteronomy 28 and 28, God, put confusion on some people. He placed it on them due to different reasons because pretty much, they wasn't doing what they needed to do. They wasn't lining up according to His word. So He did, put that on there, but He put that on them or whatever. But He's still not the author of confusion. He tells us that those people were just being disobedient, so that's what He did. He put confusion amongst other things. But God is not the author of confusion for those who believe, for those who walk according to His word, for those who trust in Him. So He reminded me on last night or the day before, whichever one it was, one of those, that, I have to be mindful about my words. I can't say, oh God, I'm confused, about why it is I haven't been able to use this degree, or I'm confused about why it is I'm at this job, or I'm confused, about any particular thing. The word confusion shouldn't truly come out of our mouth because we're speaking that over ourselves. Yeah, I'm talking about it right now, but that, whenever we're actually talking about ourselves, we should not be saying the word confused. Now, some may disagree with me and some may not. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, if life and death lies in the power of our tongue, and God says that He is not the author of confusion, we should not be saying that I'm confused in whatever the situation is. What we should be doing is, we will say that, I don't understand. God, I don't understand. Can you give me the knowledge and the understanding to be able to understand why it is that this particular thing may be happening? He may give us that understanding, He may not. But at the same time, we have to trust and believe that it is whatever is happening right then at that time is in His will. It might not be in His will for that particular thing to happen right now. It might be in His will for you to just, go through that long suffering and be patient until He shows you the way, till He shows me the way. But at the same time, while we're, in that waiting period, in that patiently waiting period, we have to remember that we do have to do things ourselves too. Like, I was looking for a job, not necessarily as my first job. I don't know what God plans is. Right now I'm a dental hygienist, but I wanted to do something else with this particular degree just because. I mean, I love psychology. I love people, and sometimes for me, I'm one of those people who need to change up a little bit sometimes. So I want to be able to do something a little bit different. But for me right now, like whenever I would be searching, I would find myself getting anxious, so I had to step away. So now it's been over a year and I've stepped away, and I understand that it is time for me to move forward in this. But at the same time, I can't be saying that I'm confused in this situation during this time, that I don't understand. I'm confused as to why, I should say, I have not been able to do anything right now. Instead of saying I'm confused, I was saying I don't understand. But at the same time, while I'm saying I don't understand, I also have to make sure that I trust and believe that everything works for those who love the Lord, that everything will work in His own timing. So, family, on the day, like I said, I just wanted to come on here and just encourage you guys and remind you that we have to be careful with our words. Instead of saying certain things, think about it before you say it. Think about it before you speak it, before it comes out of your mouth. Understand that sometimes that instead of saying one particular thing a particular way, you might need to think about it first and say it a different way. Just changing up wording means a lot. It goes a long way whenever you truly think about it. So again, family, I love y'all, and I pray that this word encourages somebody just the way it encouraged me, in a way that it helped me to understand the way our God works as believers. Okay, family, I love y'all. Until next time, be blessed. Amen.